Here we have the map of Barbados. It's the earliest that there is that is pretty well surveyed. All the names of the families are on this map at the time. Who put them there? Not the authorities in Barbados, not the authorities in England. So who else would have put them? There's only one person or one set of people left who can have had anything to do with this map, and that is the Quakers. Here is the reason that I think that this map was done by the Quakers. Down here at Spikestown, also known as Little Bristol, you've got Friends Plantations. Who else would have wanted Friends Plantations accounted for but the Quakers? Here is Spikestown as it appeared in 1675 or before, because it took time to survey and draw the map. You've got your Friends Plantations. The Friends is an indication that they're Quakers. They have in Spikestown the small houses that would have been there for merchants, for fishermen, and other people living in that part of the island. Okay, so if the Friends or the Quakers drew this map, then it is a record of the people who were actually members of the Quaker sect in Barbados in 1675. As you see, it's it's the whole of the island, not the small population that we are told all the time was the basis of the Quaker religion. It was the whole island. So if the whole island was populated by Quakers, I'm going to say that I should be able to take Gamble or Jennings or Howe or Noor or King or Hancock. Hancock is pretty interesting because that was a pretty important name in America. I should be able to take one of these and be able to trace it back to America. So let's go from there. Let's look and see Philip far away on the other side of the island and see what a family came, how a family arose. Here is the startling thing. The map was drawn by a Quaker, by Richard Ford. So it's quite possible that he did it for Quakers. We'll find out soon. So here's what the entire map looks like, just to refresh your minds. We're going to look in St. Philip, and we're going to see some families and see what has become of them. 1675 is the starting date. So here is the area that I'm interested in. St. Philip's Church. Whoops. St. Philip's Church. Let's see if I can move this a bit more. St. Philip's Church. And we're going to look at Crawford and Walden and try and make some sort of link between Quaker and what is here on the map. Now, Walden was involved with, I think, Constance Sylvester, and he was responsible for the rise of the Quakers, or I think it's Walden. There are a few Waldens. There's a Walden here, and a Walden up here somewhere. Whoops, don't see it. Walden Senior. Here he is. Right? That one is up by Guinea. This one is down here on the flat land. Let's look and see what it looks like. But on the layer, which is the 1982 layer, you can see that what is up here in St. Philip has to be what is below in St. Philip in 300 years ago. Now, let's put on the 1982 map sheets. Or rather, let's put, right? So what we have is 1982 covering the 1675 map completely and accurately. Well, not accurate because the 1675 map is not accurate. Only after 1722 did the maps become reasonably accurate. Let's look now for St. Philip. Well, here is St. Philip. It's pretty bland at this type of resolution, but you can put on the watercourses and a few names, and it immediately makes a lot of sense. So if you put on the watercourses, here. Sorry, the water courses here, it starts to make a little bit of sense. You've got the one up by Fortescue coming out to the sea. This is three houses. It sort of has a way out to the sea here, but here it it seems to get a dead end, but really goes under the rock and comes out to the sea. This you've got three branches here that come through Pollard's Mill and Vineyard, and they come out here so, and they come out this above the Sam Lord's Castle, and then you have Guinea Gully. So you can turn on these names here: watercourses, Parises, and it makes a lot of sense. Here is the Fortescue watercourse that comes out by Culpeper Island. So if you were to turn off the 1982 map and turn on the 19 the map from 1675, you would get that sort of thing. And if you were to take off that, you'd get the layout of the land from the satellite image. So here you have Fortescue coming out. The water course coming out through Mastic Gully to the sea. Here you've got three houses. Here you've got the map with the three water courses around Pollard's and Vineyard, and it comes out to the sea. And here you have Guinea Gully. It seems to end here, but it really flows across the trailway and comes out towards the sea. We're not going to look too much at these gullies. We're just going to look at these gullies here. So there you can have a pretty good appreciation of what is happening to the water here. Here is Crawford in 1681. He dies in St. Philip, and he has a wife and children. His friends are Richard Pocock, William Goodall, Esquire. Right away, that marks him as a Quaker. Here we've got Walron and Sir Alexander Knight, and he asked for his body to return to Barbados and buried near his mother in churchyard of St. Philip's. And he also has a friend, Thomas Henchman, another Quaker. So both what we know as pollards and vineyard were originally, before they became those under the ownership of those men, Quakers. So why would Mr. Crayford or Crawford call his plantation retreat or contented or vineyard? Why on earth? The answer is that it's a Quaker specialty. It's a Quaker quirk that they called their place of residence after a biblical name. Let's see what the Bible says about naming vineyard. Well, here it is. Bible verses about vineyards. The first one is that it's for the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is a householder, which went up early in the morning to hire laborers for his vineyard. So the plantation is like a vineyard to the man. And so you will find that right through this map, all over Barbados surface, you'll find Quaker names on the map. So all names are Quakers. We can say that now with some assurance.